Hi everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And before we get started today, I just want to let everyone know I have opened up an Etsy shop and I will leave the link below if anyone is interested. I did mention it in last week's video, but it was at the end and I know not everyone can watch till the end, so I just wanted to mention it quickly. So today we're going to be making this Always Thinking of You card with the pool party and the pretty peacock, which I just love together. So let's get started. So to start with, I have a piece of pretty peacock and it's cut at 8.5 by 5.5 and I scored it at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece, a layering piece of pool party, and this is cut at 5 by 3 3/4. And I did already run this through the Big Shot, and I ran it through with the Ornate Floral Embossing Folder, which is really pretty. So I'll just hold that up a little bit so hopefully you can see how pretty it is. So we're just going to adhere that right to the, I have a brand new Stampin' Seal today. We're going to adhere it, let's see if we can get it going. There we go. Right to the base, as I keep interrupting myself. Now I have Stampin' Seal on my fingers, that's okay. There we go. And then I have a piece of pretty peacock. Now I did already run this through the Big Shot too. This I ran it through with this piece here from the Ornate Layers Dies. And I'll just show you the other pieces that come with it. It's really gorgeous, but it does take a minute to punch all the little holes out. Some of them seem to just fall right out and some of them don't. So you just take your pick and you pick them out. So I didn't just want to waste your time doing that on camera, because obviously you know how to do that. So we're going to put that aside before we put it on. I have a piece here of Whisper White, and this is cut at 3 5/8 by 2 1/4, and this is the piece we're going to start stamping with. So the stamp set we're using today is Field of Flowers. This is in the annual catalog, and this has a coordinating punch. This is the Confetti Flowers border punch, and we're going to be using it to punch out these little flowers here. These are sold together as a bundle for 10% off, so that's always nice. So we're going to start with the leaves and grass and all of that, stems, and we're going to do this in the pool party. So we're just going to ink that up good. And when I stamped this, I came off just the tiniest bit so that it looks like your grass is going right off the page. Give that a press. There we go. And then we're going to come in, whoops, sorry for the clank. I have a piece here, we'll use this, a scrap piece of Whisper White. And this we're going to use in the pretty peacock. And this is where our flowers come in. Now, when you stamp them, I find it easiest, see these two littler flowers right here and here, to have them close to the bottom. And it just makes it easier for me to line it up when I'm using the punch. So I'm just going to punch this twice, and it doesn't have to be right next to each other because we're not using it as a border, we're just punching these out. And then I'm going to take our border punch and line it up. So we'll line up this one first. And it just takes a minute of fussing with it, but you can see it comes right into view pretty quickly. Like I said, if you focus on those two that are towards the bottom. You know what, let's do this one first because that's not lining up properly. I'm gonna have to cut it a little, so we'll do this one first. There we go. Nope, all right. Here we go. And they do kind of, we'll just push those aside, pop all over the place on me. All right, let's see if I can get this one lined up a little bit. Whoops, we still have a couple in there. I really only want the big one, so I'm gonna focus on that. If I can get those lined up, that looks pretty good. There we go. Not quite as much scattering on that one. Okay, so we're going to put these on, and I like to use my Take Your Pick tool with the putty end. It just makes it a little bit easier to grip them when you're trying to get them on. And we're going to use a little of the fine tip glue. So to start, I'm just going to pick it up, put just a dot. You need barely a dot. And then you can just put them wherever you desire down here onto your stems that you already stamped. There we go. And let's see, we'll put one over here. And maybe we'll use, let's see, this one. I got it the wrong way, so I'm just gonna flip it. There we go. All right, we'll put this one down here. And I just use my finger to kind of take it off of the putty. It's not very on there, very, you don't have to struggle is what I'm trying to say. All right, we'll do one more over here. Let's see. Let's flip that one. We'll use that one. And you can add as many or as few as you like. And then you can also do them in different colors if you wanted to too, but I just wanted to stick with the two colors today. All right, so I'm just gonna cap this quickly so it doesn't dry out. Okay, so this piece is gonna go right in this inset of the one we just stamped. There's another flower. So I'm just going to put some stamping seal on the back. And just put this right here in the center, like that. And then we're going to put this right on our base. So I'm just going to use some dimensionals. Like so. Take those off. I spend more time in my videos taking the backs off dimensionals, I think, than anything else. All right. We're just going to center that right on the base, and then we'll work on our sentiment. So I did the Always Thinking of You, but there's all kinds of different combinations you can make with these. We're gonna emboss the Always. So let's see where I put my piece. That's gonna be a little short. Let's see, here it is. All right, so this piece is cut at, let's see, 3 1/8 by 1 1/8. And you know what? I don't think I gave you the dimensions of this pretty peacock. So this piece, I used 5 by 3 1/2, and it comes out a little bit smaller than that with the die. I don't think I gave you that measurement. So now you've got it. So I'm just going to use my embossing buddy quickly. And here's the Always. We're gonna ink it up in some Versamark. And it just fits on here, so you might see my head trying to fit it on properly. There we go. I'm just gonna take a piece of scrap to put under, to put our embossing powder on, and this is the white embossing powder. And then we'll just tap it off. Put the extra back in. And then I do have a little bit left on here. I'm just gonna blow off a little bit. I've blown it before with the embossing powder. Before I put it back in the container, it gets everywhere, obviously. All right, so I'm just gonna use my heat tool and heat this up. Okay, so then we just need the Thinking of You, and that's just on a little piece of white, and I hand cut that just because it's so tiny. I think it's easier. So we're going to open our pretty peacock again, and then we're just going to go right to the edge. So I only have to cut one side, hopefully, if it's straight. Alrighty, let me just grab my scissors. I've got some ink on my fingers, of course. Okay, so we're just going to trim this up. There we go. All right, so now let's adhere this to our card. Now this I put up on dimensionals. All right, and I hung it over just a little bit off of the white. So we'll just hang it over just a little bit. And I left just a little bit of white at the top there to, I don't know, just to add some brightness. So the Thinking of You, we're going to use a mini on, which is, here we go. My dimensionals fly all over the place, but I do use them quite a bit. So when I put these on here, I'm only going to use one actually. I want to put it so that the thinking, most of the thinking is actually on this, so the dimensional is only going to go on the end. So you just want to make sure you have the right end going when you put the dimensional on, otherwise it's going to be sticking up on the Thinking of You instead of where you want it. All right, so all we need now is a little bow, and I have this really pretty pool party ribbon. We'll see how quickly I can tie it on camera. Always seems to go faster when you're off camera. Pull it through, not too bad. And then I just want to fuss with it a little bit here. All right, to get it to the size I want it. Not too bad. All right, we'll go with this. All righty, and then we'll just trim off the ends. And this time we're going to use a glue dot. Just want to get that a little tighter. There we go. And all I do with my glue dots, I know I've shown you this before, but I just roll it with my finger so it doesn't stick out so much, and it doesn't, your card doesn't adhere to other things. And we're just going to stick this right in the corner, and that's all there is to it. So here's our original, and here's the one we made. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and all of my links will be listed down below. Thank you.